Just imagine this for a quick second. What if buying a home, or even setting up a business, just a single kilometer away from a future metro station today, could completely skyrocket its value over the next 10 years? It's a fascinating question, right? Because we've seen this happen all across India. Metro rail literally transforms cities. Neighborhoods that used to be considered sleepy, distant suburbs just suddenly evolve into these booming commercial and residential hubs. The financial and lifestyle stakes here are absolutely massive. So we gotta ask, could Chennai be the very next big success story?
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into exactly how Chennai Metro Phase 2 is gearing up to dramatically reshape property prices, elevate business districts, and really redefine the entire economic future of the city. We're going to look at exactly who stands to win big when this massive new transit network finally goes live. Okay, let's dive straight into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the metro effect, then move on to investment hotspots, followed by commercial and IT growth. After that, we'll cover lessons from other cities, touch on challenges to urban growth, and wrap it all up with a look at Chennai 2035. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the metro effect, and exactly how it shapes urban landscapes.
So, a new metro line does so much more than just shave a few minutes off your commute. It actually fundamentally alters the DNA of a city. This is what experts call the metro effect. It literally changes where people want to live, where companies set up shop, where developers build the next big mall, and even where schools and hospitals pop up. It even dictates where local governments are going to pour money into new supplementary infrastructure. Study after study consistently shows that better metro connectivity drives up demand for nearby properties. But, and you got to remember this, the actual price jump isn't some guaranteed magic number. It varies a lot depending on local supply, demand, and the broader real estate market conditions at the time.
Moving right along to Section 2, investment hotspots. We're going to map out Chennai's biggest potential winners here. Let's start right in the thick of it with OMR and SIPCOT, the undisputed IT corridor. I mean, this area is already home to thousands upon thousands of tech professionals. Bringing metro connectivity here, it's an absolute game changer. It's going to make the daily grind significantly easier and drastically cut down on that heavy, incredibly stressful dependence on private cars crawling through bumper-to-bumper traffic. The real winners here are going to be the employees in those massive technology parks and, of course, the local businesses lining that entire corridor. Next up, we have Porur, and this brilliantly illustrates how a neighborhood can completely evolve beyond just being a place with nice houses. Porur is rapidly transforming into a major healthcare and commercial titan. Once you remove the friction of traveling there by adding reliable metro access, you're going to see hospitals, corporate offices, and new residential projects become incredibly attractive to both big-time investors and everyday folks looking for a place to live. Then we've got Madhavaram. Now, historically, this spot has been known mostly for logistics and intense wholesale activity. But you definitely want to watch this space. The new metro is expected to drastically improve access up to North Chennai. By plugging these historically logistics-heavy zones into the wider city network, it unlocks this incredible untapped potential. We're talking a serious surge in both commercial growth and fresh residential development. Now, let's take a look at Poonamallee, which perfectly represents Chennai's suburban boom. This is already one of the city's absolute fastest-growing suburban pockets. As transit connectivity physically pushes out to these outer limits, the momentum is unreal. Demand for housing is just going to skyrocket. But here's the catch. The supporting civic infrastructure has to race to keep pace. Because, all those new homes need water, roads, and power. A new metro line often forces the city to upgrade all of those utilities right alongside it. Rounding out our hotspot map is Sholinganallur. Now, this isn't just a big deal locally, it is genuinely one of the premier employment hubs in all of South India. Having direct metro access here will drastically slash travel times for literally tens of thousands of professionals. And taking that friction out of the daily commute, that is only going to cement its status as a major powerhouse business district for decades to come. Okay, shifting gears to Section 3, commercial and IT growth. Let's look at the business blueprint. It's not just home buyers obsessing over these new transit maps. Major corporations are doing it too. Companies today heavily prioritize public transport access when they're scouting for new office locations. And why is that? Well, reliable metro connectivity hits 4 absolutely crucial business goals. First, it shrinks employee commuting time, which goes a long way in boosting morale.
Second, it blows the available talent pool wide open. Think about it. If people can just bypass gridlock to get to work easily, way more people are going to apply. Third, it just generally improves workplace accessibility. And fourth, it helps companies hit their sustainability goals by actively encouraging staff to ditch their private cars. All of this makes metro-connected districts a massive magnet for future corporate investment.
It's really fascinating to look at the dual nature of this kind of infrastructure. On one hand, we've got the obvious, passenger transit, seamlessly moving everyday citizens from point A to point B. But contrast that with the other side of the coin, the metro as a massive economic engine. Yes, these systems primarily serve everyday commuters, but they are absolutely vital for driving economic activity. By smoothing out access to industrial zones and huge employment centers, they help businesses attract top talent so much more efficiently. And for Chennai specifically, this perfectly complements the city's already powerhouse manufacturing base in sectors like automobiles, electronics, and engineering.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds. Lessons from other cities and their proven formula for growth. The great thing is, we don't really have to guess what might happen in Chennai because we literally have a proven formula playing out in major hubs right across India. Just look at the data here. Up in Delhi, we saw undeniable massive commercial growth cluster right around their key interchange stations. Down in Hyderabad, the city experienced a huge boom in residential development stretching all along its major transit corridors. And over in Bangalore, there is incredibly strong, relentless property demand anywhere near an operational line. Now, obviously, every single city has its own unique layout and culture, but this overarching economic data pretty much proves that the metro effect is a highly reliable catalyst for long-term growth. Chennai is for sure going to experience these exact same transformations as its network expands.
But we need to keep things realistic. Section 5, challenges to urban growth and keeping our expectations grounded. So the crucial point is this. Just building a train track does not automatically guarantee massive real estate wealth for everyone living nearby. Metro infrastructure is an amazing catalyst, sure, but it is not a magic wand. How a neighborhood actually evolves depends on several interconnected factors. You've got to factor in the overall economic growth of the region, the current and planned housing supply, the local rate of employment generation, the quality of surrounding civic infrastructure like roads and water lines, and, of course, the effectiveness of citywide urban planning. All 5 of these overarching economic factors have to work together in harmony to truly unlock the full potential of the metro effect.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, Chennai 2035, taking a look at the long-term vision. I want you to just project yourself a decade into the future for a minute. Try to imagine daily life in Chennai in 2035. Picture professionals traveling completely seamlessly all the way from Madhavaram down to SIPCOT without constantly checking a traffic app in a total panic. Imagine students getting to their university campuses quickly, affordably, and safely. Think about families spending far less of their precious free time stuck in gridlock and way more time actually enjoying life together. Picture dynamic businesses confidently expanding into these newly connected districts just because the infrastructure finally supports their ambitions. We're looking at a story of a city that becomes fundamentally more accessible, far more productive, and deeply connected. Phase 2 isn't just a transit project. It's about physically laying out the future of Chennai, which really brings us to this powerful realization. The real impact won't be measured only in kilometers of track or the number of stations. It will be measured in opportunities created, businesses expanded, neighborhoods transformed, and millions of hours of travel saved. All those cranes, barricades, and massive construction sites you see when you're driving around today, those aren't just annoying traffic inconveniences. They are quite literally the physical foundation being poured for Chennai's next great chapter.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer on Chennai Metro Phase 2. Now, I want to turn the floor over to you. Based on the data, the historical trends, and all the investment hotspots we've explored today, from OMR to Poonamallee, which specific area do you honestly think will benefit the most from this incredible new network? Take everything you've picked up today, apply it to the future of the city, and see what you come up with. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this analysis, and as always, keep learning.